As the World Series of Poker main event grind continues, everyone needs motivation. For Daniel Negreanu, it's a movie about perseverance.
For over 10 years now, I say I've been watching the Rocky movies right before the main event. Each movie teaches me something about myself and what I need to be thinking about and get me in the right frame of mind. Forget about the interviews, time to grind.
Okay, I'm ready.
There's actually a good quote from the Rocky Balboa movie where he says, "It's not how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward." That's what separates a true champion from the rest.
It's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Negreanu and 200 others are still alive, including a movie star in his own right, Kevin Pollak. Everyone trying to go the distance in this heavyweight fight. Day 5 continues next. Hello and welcome back to the World Series of Poker main event presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Day 5 is underway, and making the final table is not such a long shot anymore. I'm Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott as play continues at the Rio. Gavin Smith would love to represent Canada at the final table.
And we would love to see Gavin Smith represent Canada at the final table.
Frances Gail Bowman has surprised everyone this year.
Not me. I saw her in the registration line on the first day and said, this gal's going places.
Norway's Elizabeth Hill is making her first World Series cash a memorable one.
I'd like 2 eggs over easy, side of bacon, and some whole wheat toast.
27-year-old Texan Rob Salaburu is the chip leader.
He actually once worked as a waiter, but if I gave him my order, I don't like my chances of getting it.
Jason Somerville in 9th place, former November Niner Eric Buckman in 10th, Hill with over $3 million in 5th. At the featured table, Daniel Negreanu and Kevin Pollak.
Dak, I don't mind.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mindset. I mean, there's so much time, fucking hours.
But I mean, we have to double up today, right?
I don't even think that. I mean, I'm just good to go. As long as I'm here, I don't care how many chips I got.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, right.
I'm on borrowed time. Right?
It is a star-studded feature table tonight, highlighted by Negreanu and Pollak. Daniel has less than a half an average stack, but he's always dangerous.
I expect Daniel to focus even harder than usual tonight. Even a small mistake could mean his exit.
To Daniel's left is New Yorker Omar Saeed. We've seen him in action, and he's tough.
With a better-than-average stack, Negreanu on his right and short stacks to his left, this table should be prime pickings for Saeed.
Saeed under the gun on this hand. He looks down at a tray of hearts, jack of spades, into the muck. Next in line is Bill Katona, 4th grade teacher from Riverside, California. King jack of hearts on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky hole cam.
He won the Stratomatic World Championship here in Las Vegas in 2010, so he's going for the rare Stratomatic main event double.
That would be rare indeed. He starts the hand with 509,000. Looks like he wants to raise it up.
It's cooking over here.
Boy, that took a long time to put out 37,000 chips.
Might be the longest ever recorded raise, 237 on day 5 of the main event line.
The blinds are at 8 and 16,000. 2,000 chip ante.
Stratomatic was invented by a Bucknell University math student in the early 1960s. Katona has been a math teacher.
7-6 off for Daniel Negreanu in the big blind.
He's got 23 big blinds left. Not a whole lot of wiggle room.
Daniel seeking his first no-limit hold'em bracelet. He calls and will play a hand with the amateur. Katona favored with the king jack. Queen 7-10. Daniel hits bottom pair and checks. Katona with an up and down straight draw.
Katona stopped playing poker when he got deeply involved in Stratomatic baseball, then was reintroduced to poker by a Stratomatic friend 5 years ago.
For those that don't know, Stratomatic really pretty much, Norman, is the original fantasy league.
46,000 is the bid.
46,000 from Katona.
I know when I final tabled the World Series event 42 this year.
Here we go again.
This type of situation caused me a lot of headaches.
Katona bet almost half the pot, and Daniel looks a little pained. He does make the call, though, with bottom pair. He's got the best hand. And Daniel's hand just got better. Another 7 gives Negreanu trips, and he checks.
Well, Daniel was ahead, and now he knows he's almost certainly way ahead of Katona.
And he loves to see Katona reaching for chips. There's 95,000.
Yeah, Katona pushing his draw again. Negreanu wants to maximize this opportunity.
Daniel started the hand with just shy of 400,000.
I'm all in.
And he shoves the rest of his stack in, 286,000.
Katona wishes he had a Daniel Negreanu Stratomatic player card he could pull out of his wallet.
191 more.
Katona has Daniel covered, but really not by that much.
Might have outs unless you have tens or queens.
I have no idea what that means.
If you have a full house, you got me, which I don't think you have.
Oh boy, Katona struggling with this, makes the call.
Good luck.
And he'll try to get lucky with his draw and knock out a big name.
Oh, God. He has outs.
No. Come on.
No. I didn't want him to have any outs. All right, please don't do anything stupid.
Katona wasn't getting the right price there to call, and now Negreanu's got to sweat the river.
This is about the closest I've ever been to out. 8 outs.
The river card is a 4, and Daniel survives and doubles up.
Total of 2.
So Daniel now with 762,000. He likes that.
47 big blinds for Negreanu, and Katona now has to nurse a short stack.
Nice hand.
286. Thank you.
When you talk about the World Series of Poker main event, there are 2 very separate worlds: the pomp, circumstance, and entertainment value of the early days, and the seriousness and historic nature of the later stages. Tonight, those worlds collide with Kevin Pollak and Daniel Negreanu at the feature table. Both are celebrities in their own right, surely, and though Daniel just doubled up, both need chips and fast.
The main event's always been an equal opportunity endeavor. Whether you're a pro or an amateur, whether you're a somebody or a nobody, you can live the American dream here. Over the last 15 years, Daniel Negreanu has gone from nobody to somebody, and as much as anybody, he embodies poker's best traits. Maybe this is his time. For when you watch Kid Poker, it's obvious that the man is very good at what he does and wants to win this very badly, and well, that makes the American dream a little easier.
Over $8.5 million at the end of the rainbow. Amateur Ricky Markowitz joins this table and brings with him 578,000 chips. His chips, 3 denominations, 1,000, 5,000, and the biggest chip, the green one, 25,000. Folded to Negreanu, 7 deuce into the muck. Markowitz now looks down at Ace-Jack.
He is a Lakers fan, I believe, and he's worked in women's shoes since 1972.
He doesn't work in women's shoes. He's a wholesaler and designer of women's shoes.
Thank you for the clarification.
And with the Ace-Jack, he raises to 32,000. Omar Saeed with King-Queen off.
Saeed has been walking past women's shoe stores since 1972.
He makes the call.
Actually, correction, Lon. Saeed was born in 1976.
Folded to Pollak.
I'm all in.
And a re-raise all in. Rabsov folds.
I wish you the best of luck.
And pocket 9s for Grand Mojan into the muck.
And you saw how quickly he got rid of those pocket 9s, scared of Kevin Pollak.
Back to Markowitz now. And he's scared of Kevin Pollak. Saeed.
All right, let you live. 2 hands in a row.
Wow. Nice hand.
Thanks for not sucking out on me, both of you.
I had a big ace also.
Then I guess you were supposed to call.
Nobody wants to give Pollak action. Everybody knows he's playing only premium hands.
183 players remain in contention. You see the chip average just over $1 million now. At an outer table, Elizabeth Hill with 2 red aces just re-raised Jeffrey Finkelstein. He shoves with ace-king, and the Norwegian waitress is serving up a cold dish of reality.
Boy, he runs into a big hand, and Elizabeth Hill has had a lot of big hands.
Hill started the hand with $2.6 million, and she is in prime position to pick up almost $1 million more. All right, here's the flop. Finkelstein at risk. 10-5-5. Finkelstein in desperate straits.
Finkelstein's going to need runner here.
Turn card now is the 9. That ends it. Finkelstein knocked out of the main event by Elizabeth Hill.
Still, I think the polite thing would be to tip her.
Finkelstein will take his nearly $45,000 to go. And with that pot, Hill moves into second place. She's already wearing a lot of bracelets, but I think she can make room for one more. The 2012 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. and Slotomania. Enjoy free, fun slot-style games on Facebook and your mobile device. One of the newer attractions in the Las Vegas area is the Neon Museum. If there's a hotel you loved and it closed, you might find their sign there. Back at the secondary featured table, Jesse Sylvia, a pro originally from Martha's Vineyard, but now living in Las Vegas, is the table chip leader.
And second here in chips is bracelet winner Jason Somerville. He started playing $20 sit and goes in 2004, and by 2005 he had online winnings of $200,000.
And he's more than tripled his stack today. AJ Jejalo has scored his first World Series cash, has a very active playing style. Also here, Convivio pro Gavin Smith, father of two now, but with a slightly below average chip stack.
When you have two kids, it's hard to have an above average stack.
Amit Zolkowitz has the Jack Link's beef jerky wild card hand.
40.
And he says 40,000.
Middle position, he's deep stacked right now, 100 big blinds. I'm thinking pocket eights, C.
Zolkowitz enjoying his first ever World Series of Poker cash, folded over to Jesse Sylvia.
I've decided I want that jacket line.
Oh, wow. He has sold you, huh?
Yep.
In the small blind, after Sylvia folded, Jejalowo with ace-9 of diamonds makes the call.
Well, AJ is a biomedical researcher, and he looks so comfortable at the poker table, it scares me.
Gavin folds his big blind, so heads up Zolkowitz and Jejalowo.
Look at him, Lon. He's cool-hand Luke over there.
He is indeed. 4, 4, 9, 2 spades. Surprise, AJ got a piece of the flop. And he's going to reach for chips, and that means he's got a bet. 50,000.
Well, AJ bets when he's got nothing, so he certainly was going to fire when he's got something.
And a call from Zolkowitz.
Well, we're going to throw out D. Zolkowitz could be stubborn here with ace-king. He could have the spade flush draw or the pocket eights. I'm thinking pocket eights.
Turn card in ace. AJ with aces up now.
Just a dream card for AJ Jeje. I'll show you I've got a hand every time. Low-wo. You've got to love his table presence. He's casual, he's methodical, he's here to take your chips.
A cold-hearted chip stacked killer. And that's 135,000.
And remember, no one ever gives AJ credit for a hand.
It doesn't look like Zolkowitz will as he calls.
Well, it's still A, B, or C. Yes, I'm still thinking pocket eights because no one ever believes AJ.
Tray of spades, third spade on the board. Does that worry AJ? Little does.
Well, it doesn't look like AJ's worried about the flush draw getting there.
No, 325,000 to Amit now.
AJ bets 2/3 the pot.
Wow.
If Zolkowitz had the nut flush, I think this would be a pretty quick call against AJ.
Well, he's squirming a little bit.
How much do you have total?
Oh, he's asking for a count? Now I don't know what Zolkowitz has.
I call. Never mind. I just call. Call.
I have 2 pair.
Call.
2 pair.
Call. I want to see them.
Zolkowitz demands to see AJ's cards, turns over ace-10 for the nut flush.
I'm thinking he doesn't have pocket eights then, Lon. Oh, well.
Zolkowitz rivered the nut flush to win the Jack Link's beef jerky wildcard hand.
And AJ's taken a couple of big blows on day 5 when he's had big hands. First against Jesse Sylvia.
Zolkowitz up to almost 2.3 million. Jejalowo backsliding close to the chip average now. There you see Daniel Negreanu trying to survive day 5 at our featured table. Daniel's signature move in tournaments may be playing middle cards, but he's got another signature move, which we've seen a lot of in this main event.
Come on in, peeps. Come on in. Which way are we going? Right first?
Take that picture.
Right here on the shirt. You got to open it for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
How y'all doing? You got a pen?
No, I don't.
Well, how am I supposed to sign it? With blood?
Such a big.
Oh, thanks. I'm sitting pretty. You know, I like your hair. We should go to the same. This is perfect. Where are you from? From Russia. Всем привет. Germany. Oh, kann ich bitte Bier haben, ja?
Daniel is one of poker's biggest personalities, and if he ever wins its biggest event, he'll have to hire another personal assistant just to sign his autograph everywhere.
Good point. He opens under the gun to 44,000 with Queen 10 of hearts. He is a fan favorite player, tweeter, blogger, you name it, they love him.
Yeah, but he has been in a bracelet drought. He's only won one since his 2004 Player of the Year summer.
to Pollock now with pocket nines.
Pollock says he'd rather win the main event bracelet than an Oscar because he could wear the bracelet.
He was nominated for a Blockbuster Entertainment Award in 2000 for End of Days.
You can't wear a Blockbuster Entertainment Award anywhere.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Bell. Bell? Nice to meet you, Bell. I'm Kevin.
You know, at this point, Daniel clearly knows Kevin's got a better hand than he does.
Raise.
All right, a re-raise announced.
Well, when Kevin Pollock 3-bets, it's like a code blue in a hospital. Everyone's on high alert.
He makes it 140,000.
Fold the best hand.
Folded to Poker Pro and bracelet winner Chance Corneth with 2 red jacks.
Tricky pocket jacks against the 3-bet from the tightest guy here, who just committed 1/3 of his stack, plus Daniel Negreanu still to act.
So much to consider. And the jacks meekly go into the muck. Daniel folds, give it to Pollock.
Do you accept bribes to see your hand?
How much?
I got $5 on it. Dan
5?
did it for 5 earlier.
5?
10?
For each card.
I'll throw in a hug.
Pollock shouldn't show his hand for any price unless it's 7 deuce.
Jacks.
6? 1 jack or 2?
3.
Just now? You had the best hand then. Jacks? He had like 9s or something. 9s or 8s.
Oh yeah, did I mention Negreanu can read your soul? There is the bracelet that sits at the end of the main event grind. This year's edition valued at $150,000. So 178 players still in contention to become the 2012 World Champ. We get a look around the room. Maryland's Greg Merson is enjoying his day 5 up to $1.4 million.
He's got 40 sports jerseys he wears when he plays poker. Today it's the Baltimore Orioles.
Matt Marafiati holding steady at $653K.
He wouldn't be caught dead in a sports jersey. He's more of a Kenneth Cole guy.
Gavin Smith recently doubled up, though not in the poker sense. He's got 2 kids now, and he's a different man from a few years ago.
Poker mimics life quite a bit. It really brings out a lot of honesty in people. You really see what a person's like when they're at a poker table. By having more life experiences, that just gives you a better opportunity to be able to pick up on things. When I'm on my Harley, that's my time. I can just space out and do whatever I want. No one can reach me on the phone. Nobody can email me. Nobody can get a hold of me, and that's when I'm free. Got 2 young boys. They're 11 months to the day apart. Kingston's 21 months old, and Keegan's 10 months old. Kids have changed me a lot. I think that I'm a lot less reckless a poker player than I used to be. I'm a lot less reckless a person than I used to be. I lived a pretty fast life for a long time, and its Mach speed's slower than it was. Really blows my mind how many people you see at a table that are absolutely miserable. And I'm thinking to myself, why on earth would you be sitting at this table playing this game if going to the dentist would make you happier? You know, right now it's still fun, and so I'm gonna keep doing it for a while.
On the felt, he always has fun. At this main event, he's been playing Chinese poker against Amnon Filippi, each on his tablet while sitting at different tables.
Jejalowo open raise with Queen Jack. Gavin Smith with pocket kings. Putting chips together. He has toiled at this game for many years. Finally won his first bracelet 2 years ago. He re-raises to 135. Somerville with Jack 10 of diamonds.
Gavin is used to obstacles in his life, and Jason Somerville to his left is one of them.
And there's a call for 135. So an active table now as it moves around.
How do you play Chinese poker online while you're literally sitting at a main event table competing for the World Championship?
Well, me, very poorly. Action back to Jejalowo now.
Boy, when I watch AJ, it strikes me he has absolutely no blood pressure.
He folds. Leaves it up to Smith with his kings and Somerville with the suited Jack 10. So these 2 pros will see a flop of 9-4, 9-2 diamonds. Gavin's big pocket pair still ahead, but vulnerable as Somerville flops a flush draw. Gavin with chips in hand. That's 175,000.
Lon, that was the exact bet I made at the final table of World Series event 42 this summer against Mark Gregorich, who was the 2nd best player at that table, mind you.
And who took all your chips?
I don't recall. You know, I don't care about results. I play for the joy of it.
Gregorich, I think it was.
Maybe.
Somerville with the draw.
I'm all in.
Wow.
Good call.
Gavin calls with the kings.
Boy, Gavin decided without delay that Jason Somerville did not have a 9 in his hand, and he was right, and he calls off the rest of his stack. Somerville, though, with 8 outs to bust Gavin Smith.
So Jason Somerville risking a huge portion of his stack on the draw. Gavin Smith looking to double. The Queen of Hearts gives Somerville an up and down straight draw.
King is no good,
It's the same.
No, it's not the same.
King is bad now.
Not the same. They can't hear the king.
Can I chop it up?
Yes.
Gavin needs to dodge a diamond or an 8.
The 5 of Hearts means Smith will survive and double up with kings up.
Jason Somerville loses almost half his stack. Gavin Smith now with 83 big blinds.
Jason took a shot and missed. Gavin up to 1.6 million. Rob Salaburu continues his role as chip leader. Let's catch up with Elizabeth Hill and her millions of chips. With pocket tens, she called the all-in of Will Souther, who has the advantage with pocket kings.
First time I can remember the card-carrying waitress having the worst hand.
Well, he had the advantage before Hill flopped top set. My.
Will Souther feeling the hurt of that flop.
Oh, boy. Staring elimination in the face. Jack of spades does not help him.
Now, to stick around, Souther needs a king or any heart other than the jack.
The river card now is another 10 quads for Hill, and that will run Souther out the door.
I'll bet you she's never had this many chips in front of her at the end of a weight shift.
Boy, Souther comes up short. All his chips now belong to Elizabeth Hill. A gracious congratulations from the vanquished foe.
The man known as the poker monkey is gone, and the poker waitress is strong.
So Hill gets that monkey off her back, and if the room didn't know who Hill was before, they know her now. She's the chip leader. There are very few events quite like the main event. 7 days of play, then a 2-day final table. 6,598 players began on day one. We're down to 168, and a huge payday of over $8.5 million.
And some interesting names still out there. 3-time bracelet winner, 76-year-old Perry Green. Double bracelet winner, John Fan. Former November Niners, Eric Buckman, Joseph Chung, and Sam Holden.
A few bust outs to go before the field gets a raise to nearly $53,000.
David ODB Baker still alive at this main event, as is one of our favorites, Marcel Lusk.
Pulled that over to Gavin Smith. His recent double-up has him above the chip average. Ace, Queen of Hearts, and a raise to $46,000. He's been on a roll lately. Well, until Jason picked up Ace King.
Gavin won his bracelet in 2010. Jason won his bracelet in 2011.
Somerville just calls.
Great hand.
On the button, Bobby Poe. He gets rid of it. Pull it around to the big blind. Amit Zolkowicz, the Israeli amateur, looks down at pocket eights on the Jack Links Beef Jerky Hole Cam.
You know, when I final tabled event 42 here this year,
42?
I had pocket eights against Mark Gregorich and UV Bronstein, the second and third best players at the table, mind you, and I 3-bet it to 145,000.
And then? We'll get to that later. Zolkowicz with a raise to 158,000.
That's not a bad number.
Smith now.
Oh, this is not a good spot for Smith with a big hand.
And the big hand of Smith, not as big as the ace-king of Somerville, nor the eights of Zolkowicz. But Gavin does call. Somerville now with ace-king.
And this could be go time for Jason Somerville.
Poker Pro
I'm all in.
says all in.
Zolkowicz with the
Wow.
best hand, but now he has pause for concern, and of course, he's got to also worry about Gavin Smith behind him.
Yeah, he is in a tough spot, especially with those two big talents around him. And Zolkowicz not quite sure what to do. Does fold.
I wouldn't worry too much about you. It still may, but it sounds very unlikely. I'm not going to call you win.
Gavin's going to talk and walk.
And shows his ace-queen. Jason does not show and will drag the pot.
Last time when you do that, you have queens. Now I have tens.
Eights, tens, what's the difference?
If I have aces, that's snap call you.
Somerville stacked presently above the chip average. He and Gavin almost even right now in chips. 167 players are left. Another poker table being put in storage for a year.
You know, Lon, in the old days, if a poker table had a bad leg, it would just walk it off. Now they take the table straight to the infirmary.
Dan Shack is all in with King, Queen of Hearts, trying to overcome the pocket kings of Paul Volpe. Shack flopped a gut shot. 5 of spades on the turn, doesn't help.
Shack's got to have a 10.
The river card. The 4 of hearts will end the hand. Shack knocked out of the main event by Volpe.
Dan Shack, the rare hedge fund manager I root for. It is his 3rd main event cash, his 16th World Series cash.
He had 5 other cashes at this year's World Series. Did not cash, though, after buying into the $1 million big 1-for-1 drop. Volpe trying to keep pace with chip leader Elizabeth Hill. He's up to $3.9 million now. Back at the secondary feature table, where Jason Somerville just beat Gavin Smith and Amit Zolkowicz out of some chips. But Jason would not have had that opportunity without a lot of luck earlier on this day 5.
Red card. Red card.
Jacket club is at least.
Any red card.
Wow.
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 Stock. Eleonora.
Sometimes you need a 2-outer to propel you to a deep run. Jason Somerville hoping that 2-outer takes him to the final 9.
These two added again. Somerville raised with ace-jack suited. Zolkowicz made it 124,000 with kings. And now Jason makes the call for 76,000 more.
Jason not going wild with ace-jack suited. He wants to see a flop.
Yeah, Jason rarely goes wild with anything, as we have seen, and that's why he's here late in the main event. The flop, 9 ace-4. Somerville catches an ace to take the lead.
Boy, at this point, if I'm Amit Zolkowicz and Jason Somerville's in the hand, I muck my cards and ask Gavin Smith if he wants to play Chinese.
And Gavin would say yes, of course. Zolkowicz bets 201,000 after Somerville checked.
Well, Zolkowicz thinks his kings are good. Somerville might be worried about a bigger ace.
Jason, though, with the best of it with that ace-jack. And Jason, not one to build huge pots recklessly, calls.
Well, Zolkowicz holding his head, and he doesn't even know he has a headache yet.
All right, turn card now. Another 9. Jason's still way ahead. He checks.
I'm all in. All in.
Zolkowicz all in. That's enough to put Jason at risk if he calls.
Boy, I didn't expect that. Jason with the best hand. I guess he's got to be most worried about Zolkowicz having a bigger ace, ace-king or ace-queen.
Jason wondering, why is this amateur doing this to me?
And this is a decision for all of Jason's chips.
Jason does give it up. He was not sure, and the stakes were too high to continue.
Yeah, I don't blame Jason Somerville there, Lon. Just like you said, it's tough to call off all your chips when you're just not sure.
Jason left with more than a fighting chance, almost 900,000, while Zolkowicz's count is up to almost 2.4 million.
I'm all in.
The all-in from Zolkowicz drives Somerville to fold the best hand, a measure of revenge here on day 5. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker main event, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. We're in the heart of day 5, 163 players left. Poker pro Kyle Bowker brings his 1.9 million chips to the feature table, and in an instant, he's the big stack among these 9 hardy souls.
This is Bowker's 4th main event cash in 7 years. That's impressive.
His biggest World Series cash was his first for $247,000 in the main event, finishing 37th. Negreanu with pocket 4s.
We've mentioned his popularity. Daniel's become quite a divisive figure in poker because he has so many opinions. I'll say this, he's right more than he's wrong.
Daniel, maybe with a tell, he raised to 44,000 with pocket 4s. Who knows, getting sneaky. Saeed folds to Bowker with pocket deuces.
In 2006, Bowker became the first player to win 2 World Championship of Online Poker bracelets in 1 year.
Now you can play the game online and live. Pollock folds his small blind, wraps off in the big blind.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.
Looks down at
You know his story?
King 9.
Amazing. If you don't.
And he'll get rid of that. So it'll be heads up. It'll be Negreanu and Bowker. The deuces against the 4s. Trace 6-7. Pocket four is still ahead, and Daniel picks up a gut shot. He checks. Bowker checks back. Turn card is a deuce, and Bowker loves to see that, taking the lead with a set.
I won't go into details right now, but a hand just like this derailed me at my World Series final
that's a
table this year in
final
event
table
42.
again. Event 42.
Yeah, it's in the record books. You can look it up.
91,000 from Negreanu. Bad timing. Bowker now wondering what he can do with the set. That's a third heart on board as well. So it's just a call. And these two strong pros, leery of each other. See a river card, another 6. Bowker in control with the full house.
And each year, the #1 graduating student will be gifted by one of the big watch.
Daniel checks his 4s and 6s.
Bowker knows, almost to a certainty, he's got the best hand with deuces full.
In pieces.
Can he get more from Negreanu? He's going to try. 210,000.
Well, a lot of unlikely hands beat Daniel now. A flush, a big pocket pair. If Bowker's got a 6 or a 7, he's got a better hand. Or, of course, pocket deuces.
I don't see what flush you got. You bet a 7? Ace-6. I can't figure out a hand I can't beat.
Daniel befuddled, and of course, Daniel is short stacked.
And that's a dangerous combination.
Bear down, kid. Think, think, think. Sorry, I need another 30 seconds and I got this.
Big decision for Negreanu. If he folds right now, he's got 23 big blinds left. If he calls this, and he's going to lose if he calls, he'll be down to 12 big blinds.
Daniel tortured by this decision. Bowker sits like a statue.
I'm stressed out. I'm just going to say. Stressed out.
Negreanu slides out the call and sees the winning hand.
I don't know if Daniel's disgusted with himself or with Bowker's hand.
That hand makes sense, I guess.
It did go check after the flop before the chips started flying. Bowker up to almost 2.4 million.
And Daniel Negreanu will stew on that one for a while.
I already told for my friend, if you call, you lost the spot.
I had pair 2.
Pair of deuces too?
No, pair 4s.
A tough hand and a tough beat for Negreanu. To break it down for us, here are Phil Locke and Antonio Esfandiari.
People bluff all the time in these tournaments, especially these big tournaments. And sometimes you have to make thin calls. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. In this particular case, Daniel was wrong.
And Daniel can't be faulted. There are a lot of hands where his opponent could be firing. He could have 8-9 or ace of hearts, 10 of clubs, or total air. It's a hand where he has call down value. I don't mind the call.
Right, sometimes those calls go your way and sometimes they don't go your way. In this particular case, it didn't go Daniel's way, but I don't mind the call. Given Kyle's range, it could have worked out. It did.
And when you're on a TV table, even for a TV vet like Daniel, it can make tough decisions even tougher.
Daniel with king-queen suited.
Mullen.
And that's the last of his chips, 240,000.
It seems like Daniel's been dancing with a small stack for days on end.
He has had trouble getting traction in this main event. Saeed looks down at king and a deuce on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky whole cam and folds. Bowker with queen deuce gives it up. Now with ace queen is Kevin Pollak.
240.
Oh, this is not the guy Daniel wants to see calling his all in. He knows if Kevin's thinking about it, he's got a pair or a big ace. Kevin Pollak's also nursing a small stack, so he'll give this one some thought.
I'm all in.
And he re-raises all in. He has Negreanu covered. That's 451,000 from Pollak.
Good luck, sir.
Everyone else folds.
Oh, that's all? Okay. I got a chance. I need diamonds. Diamonds, king. I'll take either one.
Negreanu at risk.
I'm due for these. I'm due for one of these.
If Pollock loses here, he'll be down to 10 big blinds.
I'm due. Be 2-1 behind and win one.
Both of these players look like they're twisting in the wind. Here's the flop. No king, no diamonds. No help for Daniel.
I don't see any diamonds there, just for the record. Ace or a king on the turn. I'll take either one.
Daniel with a diamond, but it's too late now.
Yeah, it feels like Pollock is more on edge than Negreanu. Kid Poker's got to have a king here.
The river card. Tray of clubs.
Good luck, guys.
And that will do it.
Good luck.
Daniel Negreanu knocked out of the main event.
Did I have a choice?
No, I don't think so. I would definitely call. Good luck, guys.
Daniel Negreanu, 211th last year, 160th this year, and I guarantee you he's not happy about it.
Hey, Sam. Good call.
Pollock with a small surge up to $750,000.
I didn't expect to see Kevin Pollock all nervous when he's all
He's
in.
my hero. Literally, he's my poker
This
hero.
guy?
Yeah. There's no pleasure in that.
Let's go down to Kara Scott.
We've lost Daniel Negreanu from the feature table. You broke the top 200 this year. Last year, 211th. I know that's no consolation. Let's talk about the hand where you were up against a turned full house. What were your thoughts there about your opponent?
Well, my thoughts were pretty simple. There's virtually no hand he can have that can be 2 4s other than something goofy like a pair of deuces, because he didn't bet the flop, so he didn't like anything there. He didn't have a flush draw. He didn't raise me in the turn, and he probably doesn't have a 6 because he bets all those hands. So the only thing that made sense was that I got stupid unlucky and that a deuce came with no 4 and 5, because for me to lose that pot, it has to come a deuce, but without a 4 or 5, which makes me a straight or trip. So once I lost that, I'm on the short stack and had no choice.
Kevin Pollock said that you were one of his poker heroes. No big consolation right now. You're a poker hero to a lot of people.
Consolation how? How much does that pay?
Show me the money, right?
Right. Well, I want to win. I did the best I could. I think it's a really good tournament. I think a lot of players really misplay this event more than any other and just blow up, and I'm never going to be one of those people that do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries.
Come on.
Good luck, sir. Oh, that's all?
There's no pleasure in that.
Tonight's bracelet moments are brought to you by PokerNews.com. Timothy Adams was the 3rd Canadian to take home a bracelet at the 2012 World Series, winning the $2,500 four-handed no-limit hold'em event. In the $1,500 deuce-to-7 draw lowball tournament, Texas amateur Larry Wright was the victor. Alan Jaffrey Shulman joined her husband Barry as a bracelet winner.
I played a careful, patient game, and then I had luck at the moments when I needed it.
It's a phrase that has been used liberally, but this just might be the year of the woman. 2 bracelet winners at events other than the ladies' event, plus 3 second-place finishes, and of course 5 women left in the main event. The woman with the most chips right now is Elizabeth Hill. She's been a chip leader here on day 5 and has impressed everyone.
Well, the deck has hit her. She's had a lot of big hands, but we haven't seen her out of line. She's played solidly.
A player Hill tortured on day 4 was Greg Merson. He has pocket 4s in the Orioles jersey. The Maryland native called the all-in of Peter Malkoun with ace-jack of hearts. Malkoun now favored with 2 overs and a nut flush draw, but Merson's hand is best.
Malkoun, a Pennsylvania pro with a lot of outs here.
Turn card is a 4. That cuts down on those outs. Merson turns a set.
Malkoun is going to need a heart that doesn't pair the board to stick around.
It's a diamond on the river, and Peter Malkoun done in by recent bracelet winner Greg Merson.
The Maryland native doing Maryland proud.
So Malkoun will make his exit from the main event in 158th place. Merson up to over $1.5 million now. And Merson riding one of the most improbable streaks in poker. Just before this event, he won a 10K 6 max, which turned into a 4-day event. That means here on day 5, he's played poker for 9 straight days without being eliminated. Not bad for someone who went to Maryland.
Hey, Maryland's a small state, but we got a ton of stuff. 2 major metropolitan areas, Baltimore and Washington, D.C., plus Annapolis, the Chesapeake Bay, the Atlantic Ocean, even some mountains, and the best crab cakes.
Nearby, Matt Marifiotti, hoping his ace-king can crack aces again. Matt in danger of being knocked out by Scott Anderson.
Marifiotti got very lucky at the end of day 4 with ace-king against aces.
Here's the flop. 10-6-5, an empty flop for Matt. He needs another minor miracle.
And Marifiotti now is going to need running cards.
And the 8 ends the hand. It means that Marifiotti's run here is over.
It's nice playing with you. 3, 2. It's a nice river for ace-king. Stay out.
Scott Anderson, a 39-year-old semi-pro, a regular in bracelet winner Chris Bell's tough home game in North Carolina.
Matt Marifiotti wins almost $53,000.
I think that's 5 fountain pens and a new belt.
Yeah, to buy out the tourney, whatever, 70K, upped my, 4th World Series to whatever, 100+K in cashes, whatever. Happy with the way I played. I probably could have opened smaller that hand, but then if he 3-bet, maybe I could flat.
That's pro self-analysis.
Yeah. Good luck.
This year, Matt made his 3rd World Series final table, but stopped short here of another one in the main event. Back to Greg Merson, who flopped middle pair in the nut flush draw. He's up against a set of jacks held by Fabrizio Gonzalez. Gonzalez bet. Merson raised to 180. Action on Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, a 24-year-old pro from Uruguay.
He's going to re-raise it to 369. 2 very evenly stacked players.
And it's hard for Merson to get away here. Middle pair and nut flush draw.
189 more. Where is the 400?
Merson cranks up the pressure and 4-bets it.
All in.
An all-in and a call. That was quick for the amount of chips in the middle.
Well, as you mentioned, these fellows have almost identical stacks. Gonzalez at risk. Merson about to get chip devastated.
6 of hearts on the turn. Gonzalez still ahead.
Merson needs any spade other than the 6 to knock out Gonzalez.
The river card is the 10 of hearts, and Gonzalez will double up in a big way to almost 3 million chips.
Wow, Fabricio Gonzalez in great shape, and Greg Merson now with less than 3 big blinds.
So a big hit put on Merson by that man, Fabrizio Gonzalez, and 97% of Merson's stack travels across the table. He's left with just a few more chips than he started with on day 1. Gonzalez fades all trouble, while Merson contemplates life as one of the shortest stacks in the room. 12 World Series of Poker is presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. And WSOP Academy. Text WSOPA to 67777 for a free tip from one of their pros. Getting right to the action, amateur Michael Gable in the foreground, deciding whether or not to call off a big part of his stack with pocket queens against Andrew Lee, who is all in pre-flop with ace-king.
Gable, a contractor here in Las Vegas, former poker dealer. He won his main event seat from a poker group of friends. He put in $160. They play tournaments once a month for a year, and whoever has the most points wins a seat to a main event mega satellite.
I call.
Gable makes the call.
Oh, put him on exactly what.
And he likes what he sees.
Exact hand I put you on. Hold!
They're racing for almost 1.3 million, and Lee's tournament life. No help to Lee in that flop. Turn card an 8, another blank for Lee.
Gable looking for the knockout. Lee looking for an ace or a king.
River card is the tray of clubs. Yes! That will end it. Gable with the big win, knocking out Andrew Lee.
Yeah, the local amateur's got a lot of chips.
Yeah, over 1.9 million after the knockout of Lee, who's out in 142nd place. His first main event cash worth almost 53 grand.
I've been playing with that guy, and I knew how he played. I put him an ace-king. I almost folded it. They put me off pocket queens and pocket jacks twice. I wasn't going to let him have it. I was not going to do it to me again. Whew, that's for my wife and my kids. IG6K, all 6 of them.
IG6K stands for I Got 6 Kids, and he's got a lot of chips too. Back at the secondary table, Gavin Smith risking about a quarter of his stack with pocket 5s to try to eliminate Michael Swimilar. Swimilar holding ace-jack of diamonds.
Swimilar, 32-year-old Texas poker pro.
The flop 9, 6, 7, 2 diamonds, nut flush draw for Swimilar. He's favored.
Gavin's pocket 5s are under siege. Swimilar has 14 outs to survive.
611,000 in the middle, at risk, along with Swimilar's tournament life. Turn card. King of clubs misses Swimilar. He's got 14 outs again on the river.
Gavin Smith, though, now a favorite again for the knockout. Swimilar needs an ace, jack, or any diamond.
Diamond, one time. Let me use my one time.
And the river card.
Diamond.
And the one time works. The ace comes through for Swimilar, and he doubles up through Gavin Smith.
That's my one time. I literally have never used my one time.
So Swimilar survives. And that loss will sting Gavin Smith. He's down to 800,000, slipping a little further away from this top 10. Elizabeth Hill, the chip leader right now, the only player over 4 million. Gail Bowman in 5th. Fabrizio Gonzalez, who just took most of Greg Merson's chips, is in 8th.
Of course, I'm rooting hard for 2 short stacks, Maryland's own Greg Merson and Hollywood's own Kevin Pollak.
If day 5 was a newspaper, the lead would definitely be Daniel Negreanu's elimination.
Have to double up today, right?
I don't even think that. Mullen.
His night started with a double up.
I'm stressed out. Yes. Nice hand. Thank you.
And ended with disappointment.
I can't figure out a hand. Mullen.
Mullen.
Good luck.
Did I have a choice?
Good luck, guys.
Negreanu's bust puts a brighter spotlight on Gavin Smith and Jason Somerville.
So brutal. I went from definitely folding, probably calling, to folding.
And very quietly, Elizabeth Hill is assembling a mountain of chips. For Norman Chad and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.